All right, here we go. This is the best we're gonna get for my RE4 review, okay? All right, so this is a survey for Resident Evil 4. I highly recommend you guys fill it out if you want the franchise to change. Well, I don't know what it's gonna say. Yes, I purchased it and played it. Well, no, I actually got it for free. Well, that's not a thing. PC, which Resident Evil Deluxe? Within the week of release is when I played it. Next. Please select each of the following. So the story. Yeah, it was 10 times better than the original. Had no story. If you guys don't know, in the original RE4, every note you find in almost every single note you find in the original RE4 is left by like Sadler or Salazar, and all the notes say, all they say is their plan on how they're gonna ambush Leon, and they leave it for Leon to read. And that happens the whole game. So, yes, the story is like non-existent. It's like the dumbest notes in the whole franchise. Have you completed the main story of Resident Evil 4? Yes. Characters. Great. Yeah. Ada. Okay, well, we'll save her for last. Luis, full upgrade on everything, in my opinion. Leon, amazing. Ashley, complete upgrade. Salazar, I thought he was fine. You know, they have a different take on him, a more grounded take. But I enjoyed him. Krauser, at first, I didn't like Krauser. I thought his voice didn't fit, but now he's like my favorite character in the game. I love Krauser now. And then Sadler, I feel like Sadler took a back seat in the remake. Like, Sadler had some good moments in the original where you're on the radio calls and you guys are doing your one-liners back and forth, attacking, or Leon and Sadler are razzing each other over the radio. I love that shit. And they took that out, but that's fine. I think he was just a fine character in this game. Nothing special, but I think he served his purpose. It wasn't a big deal to me. And Ada, you know, the voice actress took a completely different approach than every other Ada voice actress that has ever played the character. And in my opinion, it didn't pan out that well. Graphics were unreal. Not much to say about that. The controls. Okay, I thought they were great, but a lot of people... Okay, here's the thing. Controls on mouse and keyboard, great. Controls on controller? Somewhat good. I don't know. I haven't played controller, but I do not feel like people enjoyed the game as much on controller. The gameplay, battle system economy, character progression, etc. I think that was great, yeah, as well. I thought that was... So I'll just touch on all of them. The battle system... So, this game gets a lot of flack for like, oh, I was stun locked and killed. I speedrun the game. I have over 300 hours in this game. There are so many bullshit moments when there's tons of enemies on the screen in the speedrun, because you are running Leon through like 50 different enemies and ignoring everything, and that's part of the run. If you are suffering those problems in your casual playthrough, you are trying to suffer those problems. You are trying to get stun locked and killed. You shouldn't be able to just run through 50 enemies and be like, I'm fine, yeah. Like, they should beat the fuck out of you as you're trying to get by them. So I think that complaint about the battle system and like the enemy AI is not warranted in this game. I think people that complain about that just played horribly or got themselves into horrible situations and then complained when they got killed. So that's my opinion. The economy, I thought the cost of the weapons was decent. I do think they sort of fumbled the rocket launcher stuff again. Even on professional, you can afford a rocket launcher for every boss. And they even limited the rocket launchers. So the speedrun again turned into sort of rocketing every boss. But it was fine though. Like I feel like the economy overall was still good. Character progression, seeing Leon, it probably means like how strong you get when you get the new weapons, but oh, and I'm gonna touch back on economy for a second. All the weapons in RE4, despite what you want to see on tier lists from people that probably played through the game 3 or 4 times or whatever else, or YouTubers trying to make a quick buck, the The weapons in RE4 are very balanced. I always get questions in here like, I'm trying to play through Professional getting S+, what weapon should I use? Use whatever weapon you like, because you not making it through S+ has nothing to do with your weapon. Pick your favorite weapon, you will make it through. I think the weapon that gets the most flat, or a couple weapons that get the most flack, are the Skull Shaker and the first shotgun in the game, and I think they're great. I think those are awesome. Now, in my opinion, the best weapon in the game, probably, in my opinion, is the Riot Shotgun. It's just, you can snipe headshots, you know, it's just a great weapon. But I love all the weapons. They're great. And the Red 9 does feel a little, like, I think the Red 9, oh wait, we'll touch on that later. Character progression, yeah. Character progression is great with you upgrading your weapons, and even with the literal character progression, with Leon suffering the effects of the virus as the game goes on. It's great. UI I thought was awesome. Very simplistic with the tiny health and the stuff at the corner, and I liked the auto sort for the new menu. I thought the UI was awesome. I think the egg strats are still part of the speedrun. Thank you, Clobbers, and thank you, Garrus. Yeah, share your opinions in chat too, guys, if you want to, or fill out the forum yourself. The sound. I actually thought a lot of the guns sounded great in this game. The only one, and why I said the Red 9 I'll touch on later. I think the Red 9 didn't sound like people wanted it to sound like, and same here. The Red 9 sound, I do miss that heavy, like, effects of the Red 9, but regardless, I thought the sound was great. Other than that, it was fine. Well, no, the Red 9 is not shit. It's actually a really good weapon. But the reload animation, yeah, everything else surrounding the weapon, that's fine. But the gun is actually very strong. Let's see. I played through the Nightmare mod. So there's a mod that takes the professional difficulty and like doubles it, and I beat that mod with the Red 9. So, and before you guys say it's shit, look in the mirror, boom, bada boom. Horror and fear elements, I also thought those were great. The fear elements. Now, this might be a controversial one, but like, the fear elements in the village standout, let's use that for an example. Like, that gets the heart pumping. The game has so many intense moments. They fucking nailed it, in my opinion, with the horror and fear elements. And yeah, if you're like 25 to 60 years old playing through this game, you're probably not gonna get scared, but you're probably not gonna get scared by any game. So like, you know, sometimes, and if you want to get scared, if you're in that age range, or if you're just, I don't get scared of like anything nowadays, or very few games scare me. If someone like me has to get scared, you are completely sacrificing the gameplay elements. I have to be defenseless to be scared. But when you're defenseless, the game sort of suffers. Alright, the level of difficulty is appropriate. No, that's something I don't agree with. I wish Professional was a bit harder. And I wish that there was a harder mode after. I wish they added like a nightmare. I want a legitimate hard mode. Like a permadeath. Like if the scythe comes at you and you don't duck, your head comes off. And that's all there is to it. I want like a harder difficulty. The amount of content was appropriate. So, in terms of the Resident Evil franchise, definitely. This is like 4 RE3 remakes combined. But, like, Resident Evil has sort of gone backwards on content. What I mean by that is like an RE1 has 8 endings, okay? So Jill and Chris, Jill and Barry, Jill, Chris and Barry. Rinse and repeat for Chris. 8 endings. RE4 has 4 different scenarios, then Hunk, then Tofu, then EX Battle. Okay? RE3 has the 8 epilogues, or however many it is, and RE3 has so much RNG that you could play that game for like 50 hours straight and not see every cutscene and every possible thing that can happen. And then, anyway, RE2 Remake, I think, did a good job, sort of. But, man, I still think RE4 needs a little more. Like, and with RE, like, you know, if this was RE3, it'd be here. If this was RE2 Remake, it'd be here. If this was Village, it'd be here. This is 7. Well, 7's carried by its DLC, in my opinion, but I'll just go with agree. The game was immersive. Yeah, I think the game was super immersive. Provided a unique gaming experience. Yeah, for sure. Especially in the RE franchise, it felt like the combination of all the best things about Resident Evil coming together. I said this during my playthrough and many times, but I think the castle in RE4 Remake is a an example of like Resident Evil perfected, in my opinion, where you're making everyone in the whole Resident Evil community happy, or at least you're trying your best to, because the castle has slow, scary, tense moments. It has these big open cinematic fights and heavy action moments. It has a ton of puzzles. The enemy variety is big. The level variety is huge. Like, the castle is... that is Resident Evil, in my opinion. The castle through and through is like, that's what I want to see in Resident Evil games, where you have it's like making an amazing, like, fine dining dish. You have all the sweet, the sour, the spicy, the salty, all coming together, combined to make the perfect thing. And just like in this, like I said, the enemy variety, yada yada yada, what I said before, all combined into making an amazing area. Main story, yeah, I thought it was great. Like, the story is 10 times better than the original. And yeah, I think I would give it a 10. I mean, I put great for everything except content, but, or whatever, I don't even know what. No spicy. No, okay, so one big thing people always comment, there's no U3. That's true, and I guarantee you it'll be in separate ways. Is there any feedback you'd like to give Capcom after playing Resident Evil 4? Please let us know if there's something you would like more of, or if there's something you'd like us to do next. Oh! Well, they're probably not going to read this, but... oh, so yeah, what should we say? And yes, I can't wait to put this on my Clips channel or something, because there are so many people that think I hate RE4 because I didn't make a ton of content on it. But it's much harder to make, it was much harder to make content on than like RE2 Remake. And I sort of fell into my own mental trap again with this game, where I always think like, oh, I'll do something and put it on YouTube. And then I think to myself, I'm like, nah, it's too easy. Like, no one's gonna want to see this. And yeah, it always happens. Thank you, Susie's Doodles. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dotface. Thank you, KJ. Is there anything you... okay, so what do they mess up with RE4? What feedback do I have to give? Nice, I see a lot of you typed that your plushie shipped, and I'm so fucking happy. Like, the plushies, and for those of you who got them, thank you for sharing, and thank you for showing me pictures and stuff, and, you know, I'm just so happy to see that all the plushies actually look good. They look consistent, and, yeah, it's fucking awesome to see, like, you know, I'm showed 50 pictures of the plushie and they all look the same. Not the pictures don't look the same, but they all look like they're supposed to. They all the same width and height. They have no blemishes. It's awesome, because when I sell shirts and stuff, you always have a couple people that are like, yeah, my shirt's purple and I ordered the, you know, the gray one or whatever. So it's awesome to see. And for those who got it, I've heard nothing but good things. Like, it's super high quality, like I said. It's why I went with the company. The quality of the plushie is awesome. So yeah, is there anything they did wrong with RE4? I'm reading the chat. Thank you, Susie's Doodles, and thank you, Dotface. Summoning suspicious user, yeah. Oh, speaking of that, we gotta check out Exoprimal review. I left an Exoprimal review yesterday. I was up in bed at 6 a.m. My air conditioning broke and I just couldn't sleep. I probably will, Antha. And yeah, I wrote out a whole Exoprimal review. Because it was just pissing me. I was reading all the good reviews and they were making me angry. So I'm like, fuck this. I'm writing a hate review. Reviews are positive. Not for long. I'm going to make more Steam accounts. I don't think I've ever been banned from a Twitch channel. I was semi-harassed away from one. By that I mean, there was a friend of mine, I'm not going to out the person because this was like 6 years ago, but I was typing in their chat. I was trying to be nice, but they took it as sarcasm, I think. But they were like failing in a game and I was like, or they kept dying and I'm like, oh, don't worry. Like, I was just saying stuff like, oh, don't worry. They always do this. They just pretend like they can't do it to make us inferior beings, like, to not feel like shit about ourselves. Like insinuating that they're like, they're just messing around so we don't feel bad. Like if Gordon Ramsay like, ooh, slips and cuts an onion the wrong way, like, you know, he's just doing that because he doesn't want the audience to feel like they suck at cooking compared to him. Anyway, the person was like, I don't know why you're always here being sarcastic and like, you know, you could try being nice for once. And I was like, oh, I typed this. I said, oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that, period. And then guess what I did? I left and I don't think I ever went back. Has something against me. You can't type my name in his chat. Yeah, I'll tell you what he has against me. I play Resident Evil. Thank you, Olympia Shines. God, I gotta say something. For defending Shaman. Okay, hey, that's a bannable offense. Well, Separate Ways wasn't at launch for the original either. Yeah. Don't fucking even joke about that, Bing Bong. That guy has suffered enough from God knows what. I don't. So, you know what? That was years ago. I don't care. I never cared, actually. So, yeah. Although, now I could make my stream bigger by caring. Am I gonna play? Soon, Nuka-Cola. I'm trying to figure out what to type here. But the title of my stream does say making people angry, so maybe I won't play. Thank you, Gino. Imagine though, I'm not talking to you, Nuka-Cola, I'm just saying hypothetical. Imagine clicking a stream that the title is making people angry and then getting angry at this. Get those drama viewers. I already did. The day that shit was made public was one of the biggest days I had on Twitch. Because people came here to see the monster. And the monster was sitting here chilling playing Outbreak. Talking about like pizza or some shit. Got a lot of follows that day. Pretty epic. Nothing really. Pizza. I'm trying to figure out what to type. What a monster. I can't believe. No spicy. Ask for a randomizer. Guys, thank you, Sominus. Man. How did Capcom pioneer randomizers and Oh, this makes my blood boil. Why don't companies get it? Why don't companies understand? Like, making a randomizer as, let's say, DLC. Let's say an enemy randomizer for RE4. Comparatively speaking to, let's say, Separate Ways, is nothing. Nothing. It's like 10% of the work. You want people to create content on your video game, okay? Think of how big Only Up has gotten. Think of how many copies of Only Up have sold simply because of the speedrun. Trending on TikTok, trending on YouTube, trending on Twitch. That game was carried by content creators. The only reason it sold was because of content creators. Like, adding a randomizer is infinite content for your game, especially a AAA game like Resident Evil's the perfect kind of game for a randomizer. We all know that already because the randomizers are awesome. The fact that there is none for like something like RE4 per se, like as the actual final unlock, you got S+ in professional mode. Well, you can handle this. Try randomizer. I've said this before. I'll say it a million times. In Resident Evil games, and in RE4, it should have been in there. In RE2 Remake, it should have been there. You should unlock a randomizer mode at the end that has a bunch of set choice randomizers and then a legitimate randomizer. So just randomize and you play and you get what you get. And then these set modes that a couple staff members at the company made where like it's like, oh, Ganado Hell, and it's like mostly Ganados everywhere in the entire game. Or, you know, it's like Salvador's Slumber Party, and it's like all Salvadors, or you know, and sprinkle in other enemies here and there. Like, it's just crazy that stuff that would take so little work would go such a long way, and it just makes me mad about the gaming industry in general, because I feel like not just about randomizers, but like I said, in general, stuff like this just doesn't happen, and it's just free. Tons of free money and tons of free, what's it called? Exposure. You look at things like, to put it into perspective, that you're gonna have to gigabrain to relate these two topics together. But look at something like this. Look at something like Halls of Torment. Okay. So this game right here. This game is like, has the graphics of like a PC game from like 1993. It has 3 levels, like 6 characters, and people are buying the fuck out of this game. But here's the thing. Like, this game was made by what, 2 or 3 people? And the budget was probably like, I don't know, $100,000, let's say. That's probably undercutting a little. And then you look at something like Diablo 4, like, you know, something that's trying to get the same audience, and it has like $100+ million of budget and like 10 years of getting worked on by hundreds of different employees and like eating all this time. What I'm getting at is like I said to start this conversation, small things go a long way. And this whole game is like an example of like a small thing. It's just like something easy to make that there's an audience for, and it just flies off the fucking shelves. And it just makes me so sad. The gaming industry, like especially AAA companies, just don't get it. They just like randomizers in Resident Evil. They just don't understand. It's like, you could hire 20 employees to do 1% of the work that you've already done, and you will get like 1/4 more profits. You know what I mean? It just blows my mind. It's just hard to stomach. Because I love the gaming industry. I love video games, and why I talk about this so passionately is because I just want to see video games thrive. And when there's so many misses, it just hurts. It just hurts to sit back and watch a fucking train crash, you know? Well, imagine, I mean, the randomizer for RE1 Remake was done by one person in a couple months that wasn't getting paid. The randomizer for RE1, 2, and 3 were done by 4 people that weren't getting paid, and it took them a few months. Like, you're telling me that 50 people getting paid that have direct access to the actual code, the people that coded the game, and know where everything is and how to place it, it'd be like 1/10 of the work for those people. Not to mention they're getting paid as well. Like, it's nothing. It's nothing. That's true, imagine, that's true. Well, I mean, the amount of work it takes is the conversation. And obviously, I feel like this is a non-topic, because if they were gonna do what I'm talking about, they would keep what you're saying in mind and not just like, oh, let's just make it super unstable. They would take those things into account. So I don't think it's something even worth talking about. And it's something as simple as like the Mad Chainsaw mode. Like, I'm not talking about putting like 50,000 Super Salvadors in the middle of like the lake where you fight Delago. I just mean like changing anything, just mixing and matching enemies anywhere. And on top of that, you can already turn every single enemy on the screen into a particular enemy. Someone has showed in Mercenaries mode, you have all the cows on the screen. You know, the game functions. It's just, yeah. Yo, Dragon. All right, I don't even know if I'm gonna put anything at this point, guys. I don't know what to type. More outfits. I think they did a good job with the outfits, actually. Let ChatGPT come up with something. They just don't get it. You know, Alice. Remake Outbreak. Next. Please select all the console PC genres that I enjoy playing. I mean, I used to enjoy sports and racing. I can't confidently put sports. I could definitely put racing because I do love Trackmania. And racing in general. Speedrunning, hit. Second. Alright. I do love fighting games as well, just I don't really play them much anymore. Sports games. Unless it's Mario Sports. Oh, we're not even done. Alright, how do I feel about each of the following elements? The horror and fear, great. Puzzle solving, we already touched on that. That's great. Puzzle solving was decent. The thrill of using various weapons to take enemies down, yeah, they nailed that. Using the knife to parry and evading enemy attacks, yep, I think they did awesome. Using crouch, I love that. Oh, avoid detection? No. No, actually, this did not function well, in my opinion. It was okay, but I thought I didn't even finish reading. I thought it was going to say to strategically dodge abilities. Then I would have been like, yeah, dude. Purchasing and upgrading at the merchant. Yep, thought that was good. Mix items using recipes. Not so good. It's pretty slow, and I just found myself never using it. Item storage at typers, that's good. Attaché case. Up that treasure collecting. No, Well, like, the treasure collecting was... I honestly miss shooting treasures down from places, which there's like one in the game or two. You know, well, it's the hanging metal cages. I miss shooting down things. I think it was good. But I definitely think the treasure collecting could have been better. But the treasure combining, you know, I'm gonna put great. Because, oh no. Okay, here's the thing. The treasure's a huge deal to me. Guys, who's with me? Who's with me? Who's with me? Oh my god. Mixing and matching the treasures and the jewelry, I fucking loved that shit. Like, all the different combinations, like 3 of the same color is a 1.3 bonus, yada yada. Oh my god, it was so good. I fucking love that aspect of the game. Like, oh my god, it's so satisfying. Yeah, when I was playing Village, man, I was just looking, I'm like, I don't know what's wrong right now with this Village shit, but the Village treasure stuff was like bad, straight bad. And when you go play RE4 Remake and then you go back to Village, it's just like, it's just, oh, it's abysmal in Village now. Like, Village got a pass because it's like, hey, this reminds me of RE4 Original. That's awesome. But now, going forward, yeah, I fucking love the gem system. It was amazing. Tell me how to do it better, Bob. What would you do to make it better? I always like asking that when something is like overwhelmingly positive and someone says it's, or you didn't say it was bad, but someone insinuates that it's not good, how would you make it better? To appeal to a wide audience and make everyone happy, not just yourself. But yeah, I thought it was awesome. For me, if I were to improve, I'm just gonna put great because I do truly love it. It's just, I wish you found more treasures out in the open. And something I would also like, let's say they added the nightmare mode, okay, that I posted about in the thing. I wish that they would, so they add the nightmare mode. It'd be so cool to see new treasures in very hidden spots. Like you have to look like in your asshole to find them. No? Mercenaries mode. So the Mercenaries mode. Thank you, Macho Murph. Really, really appreciate it. Oh, goodness gracious. Thank you, Canna Monster. Thank you, Sominus. Thank you, Olympia Shines. Thank you again. I'm an asshole. Yeah. Yo, insane. So, the Mercenaries mode. Right now, here's the thing. Let's just put good. Mercenaries, amazing. Like they captured the feel of Mercenaries finally. Now, could it be better? Definitely. But is this the best it's been in a long time? In my opinion, hell yeah it is. Like, way better than Village. Like, leaps and bounds better than Village. I think they finally captured what makes Mercenaries special in this, but I also think they sort of missed. It could be a lot better. And I'm not talking about just missing Ada and Wesker. I think it should have way more characters. Like, it should have a ton of characters in the franchise. It just needs more content. That's it. And also, I don't think it should be the same every single time. I think they should add more RNG to it. But overall, it's like, overall, for someone that's going to play it once and play through it once, I think it's great. Even though I put good. But I'm putting good because it's still missing some stuff. It doesn't feel... Well, no, actually, wait! I need to think of this more. I'm glad I stopped myself. No rewards sucks. Mercenaries should come with rewards. That's half the fun of trying to grind out a SS plus or whatever. So let's stick with good. They need to add rewards. They should have added the RLP or whatever the hell it's called. You get the hand cannon if you didn't already unlock the hand cannon from the main game. You don't actually get the hand cannon from Mercenaries. It's a fake reward to make you think you're getting a reward if you didn't already earn it from the main game. Which I'm not a fan of. The connection to the Resident Evil series as a whole. Yeah, I think they did a good job connecting it together. Replayability, upgrading weapons, unlocking features. Good. I don't, like, it could be more replayable. I just, I don't know. They need... Add a fucking randomizer. A randomizer would solve all the issues. Well, wouldn't solve all of them, but the replayability is great. Well, like, when I think replayability, I think like RE2 or RE... Mostly like RE2 or RE3 original. Let's use RE3 original. RE3 original is a different adventure every time you play it. It's like... That to me is like... RE3 original has a great recipe for amazing replayability, and they need to use that recipe again, where if you go this way or that way, it changes the next way, it changes the enemies in the next area. Maybe you get new cutscenes, maybe you meet different characters or a character at a different time, yada yada yada. But I don't consider just playing a fun game a second time with very little incentive to get through the game replayability. That's not replayability to me. Replayability to me is constantly doing things and unlocking things for it, like Outbreak. Outbreak has fucking god tier replayability, because every time you touch that game, you're unlocking something. And most of the times it's a whole ass character who has completely different statistics than every other character in the game, and they look different as well, and some of them have different voice actors on top of that. Like, they're just completely different characters. Triggerable settings in the options with the accessibility. I don't remember what those are like. Please select the DLCs you have purchased. Uh-oh. Wait, no. I don't have the gold or the classic. I actually don't have those. Oh, if you receive the DLC, I don't know. The upgrade tickets, yeah. Terrible, terrible. Terrible. Right? Good here. Hog? Oh, hell yeah, dude. There it is. Saving it. I'm setting it as my wallpaper. What thing? Oh, the... There it is. Which RE games have you played? I always love that question. So, hopefully they'll read what I said to remake Outbreak. Like, it's looking good, guys. It's looking real good. They're gonna remake Outbreak.